Dear fans, friends and subscribers, this is your host Ram welcoming you to your daily edition of the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, what we are going to look at is basically I wouldn't be able to give you a full report because right now you could say this is like an update that I'm bringing up to you in the Indian Premier League 2015, and this is a match which is being played right now, I would say, between Chennai Super Kings and Delhi Daredevils. Now, Delhi Daredevils, as you know, they have already out of the IPL, but Chennai Super Kings, for them, this is not a very important match, one could say, because they are on the top of the table, and this was played at the Shahid Veer Narayan Singh International Stadium in Raipur, and Chennai Super Kings were the ones who won the toss and elected to bat. And let me tell you, this particular pitch at the Shahid Veer Narayan Singh International Stadium was a very dicey pitch. Runs were not easy to come by. It was actually assisting the bowlers in a very unorthodox way, one could say, because what it was doing is that the ball was stopping. So basically it was a slow pitch, so it afforded a lot of variety for the Delhi Daredevils bowlers to actually exploit, and I thought they did a wonderful job to restrict the Chennai Super Kings to just 119 for 6 of their 20 overs. And as I said, this pitch was not conducive for stroke making. The ball was stopping. Over and above that, the ball sometimes used to skid. The ball was skipping low, so it was a very dicey pitch to bat on. In fact, if you look at it, normally in the power play overs, we know that Dwayne Smith and Brendan McCullum are away like a real horse galloping, I would say. But today it was not so. As I said, the slowness which prevented it, and Zahir Khan was absolutely on the money. He bowled his heart out there. He took full advantage of the slowness of the pitch. The return figures of 4 overs, 1 maiden, 9 runs and 2 wickets. Shahbaz Nadeem, 4 overs, 1 maiden, none for 18. Gurinder Sandhu was the only one who was costly, but there was a lot of talking being done by Zahir Khan. 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 33 for Gurinder Sandhu. Morkel, 3 overs, 221. Yadav, 2 overs, no maiden, 1 for 8. And Yuvraj Singh bowled 3 overs, costing 23 runs. So right now it's break time here at the Shahid Veer Narayan Singh International Stadium in Raipur, where Chennai Super Kings 119 for 6. As I said, Dwayne Smith and Brendan McCullum putting on only 16 runs in the power play overs, and this was the lowest by the Chennai Super Kings openers. As you know, Dwayne Smith and Brendan McCullum have been an absolute fire in this Indian Premier League 2015 tournament, but today it was not so because slowness of the pitch. It required the batsmen to really wait, but unfortunately the Chennai Super Kings kept on playing their strokes and kept on succumbing to their strokes there. Dwayne Smith was LBW bowled Morkel for 18 of 24 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. Brendan McCullum was well taken by Dumini as he poked at a ball which was going outside the off stump from Zahir Khan. He was gone for 11 of 21 balls with only 1 4. Suresh Raina also holed out to Dumini of the bowling of Yadav for 11 of 8 balls with 1 4. Du Plessis played a very good knock of 29 of 23 balls with 3 fours, but then again he actually played into the hands of Morkel as he actually played on to a delivery from Morkel to see his stump shattered for 29. And Du Plessis and Dhoni were the ones who really put on a very good partnership. That was the only very good partnership, the only substantial partnership that was put on by the Chennai Super Kings, and the partnership was from when 46 for 3 was the score, when Du Plessis and Dhoni were in the middle, and they pushed the score on to put on a 37-run partnership, which was the highest partnership in this particular innings, and the score went on to 83. In the process, Du Plessis, as I said, was out for 29. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, well, he hit one beautiful 6 over the head of Yuvraj Singh. He also beautifully placed the delivery past the fielders through the offside for a boundary. He collected 27 of 24 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. Dwayne Bravo contributed 8 of 8 balls with 1 6. In the end, it was Pawan Negi not out on 5, Jadeja not out on 3, and Chennai Super Kings were restricted to a very low score of 119 for 6 of 20 overs. And while I'm talking to you, the Delhi Daredevils innings has just begun here, and I would be taking you live to the ground. I'll be giving you some live cricket commentary here as Delhi Daredevils opening their chase, and the first over has gone by, which was bowled by Ishwar Pandey, and 5 runs have been taken off that. Shreyas Iyer, the talented bat from Delhi Daredevils, has hit a boundary in the first over. He's not out on 4 of 3 balls with 1-4, and Quinton de Kock is not out on 1. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm so this is as far as the Chennai Super Kings innings were concerned. So Daredevils 5 for no loss after the first over in reply, and it's not a very consequential match for Delhi Devils. Delhi Devils are always already out of the playoffs. They're just playing for pride, one could say. And I will definitely be keeping you abreast with some live cricket commentary as and when any action happens there. So right now, as I say, they are 5 for no loss. Quinton de Kock and Shreyas Iyer, the openers, are in the middle, and I'll keep you posted. The second over has just started. Mohit Sharma is the bowler. The first ball is a short delivery, but it was going outside the off stump, and in fact Quinton de Kock has actually gone on and actually pushed it back to the bowler, and there is no run. So score stands at 5 for no loss after 1.1 overs. So while this is going on, I will get on to some cricket news here. And the cricket news which I am talking about, as you know, Pakistan would be making history after quite a long time, because Zimbabwe becomes the first team ever to tour Pakistan after a long gap, after what happened probably in 2009, if I'm not wrong. It's almost 6 years that Pakistan have not seen any international cricket, and finally international cricket is coming to Pakistan in a big way, as Zimbabwe becomes the first team to send their team there, and they would be actually playing some one-day internationals against Pakistan, I reckon. Well, I'll come back to that later, but the reason that I'm talking about that is because Zimbabwe have announced their 15-man squad which will be going to Pakistan. So let's have a look at the Zimbabwean squad and see what Zimbabwe have done, something different from the World Cup. As you know, Zimbabwe definitely did well in the World Cup, and looking at the team that Zimbabwe has, well, let's look at the players who are out of the World Cup, who played in the World Cup and they are not there. Now, one player one knows that Brendan Taylor had said that he's playing the last game for Zimbabwe, so that is something which is taken for granted. But Solomon Meyer is a very, very good all-rounder. We saw in the World Cup that he definitely has all the makings of a very good all-rounder. He dumps the ball hard. He's a useful medium pace bowler, and I'm a bit surprised that Solomon Meyer, who is young, is very talented, and I'm not sure whether this is the right way to actually not give Solomon Meyer a chance, because Solomon Meyer, I feel, is extremely talented, and I feel very sorry for Solomon Meyer, the talented all-rounder from Zimbabwe, who doesn't find a place in the mix of things in the Zimbabwe team against Pakistan. So that is a notable omission, one could say. Stuart Matsikenyeri has been dropped. Tafatwa Kamungozi, Stuart Matsikenyeri is a very good batsman. Tafatwa Kamungozi is the right-arm leg spinner. He has also been dropped. Probably they feel that Pakistan are very good against the leg spin bowling. Tendai Chatara, unfortunately, due to injury, is out, so that is something which could be accepted. Regis Chakabwa also does not find a place in the team. Now let's look at the players who have replaced these players. Charles Coventry. Now you remember Charles Coventry. I'm very happy that Charles Coventry is back, because Charles Coventry once upon a time held the record for the highest score in a one-day international match. I think it was 190 odd runs. He had actually equaled Saeed Anwar's record. The power of Pakistan, if you remember. And after that, Charles Coventry has been busy playing cricket in the United Arab Emirates, club cricket in the United Arab Emirates, and I'm very, very happy to see, because Charles Coventry, I thought when I even saw the World Cup squad that Zimbabwe didn't have Charles Coventry, I was just thinking whether that was the right decision, because Charles Coventry, according to me, is another very, very good player, and is absolutely suited for the one-day format, likes to play his strokes, and I'm very happy that Charles Coventry finds a place in the Zimbabwean team now against Pakistan. Now Roy Kaya. Now Roy Kaya is the new face in the Zimbabwe team. I'm told he's an all-rounder, and I'm also told he has performed well in the Zimbabwe domestic season. Let's look at the Roy Kaya. His name is Roy Kaya. I'm told he's an all-rounder, as I said. He was the leading run scorer in the domestic 50-50 competition here in Zimbabwe. He scored 382 runs. He was representing the Mountaineers in Zimbabwe. He had a good average of 76.40, and he also had 350s and a century. So that's the reason he's there, and he's playing as an all-rounder. He bowls right-arm off spin. Chris Pofu, we all know he's a very tall bowler. He's a very good bowler. We didn't see much of him. He was not there in the World Cup. but here he is back, so I think that is also a good move, because Kispofu, I think is a very, very good bowler. And Richmond Mutumbami was another notable omission in the World Cup, I thought, because Richmond Mutumbami, what one has seen is that they have used him as a pinch hitter. They have tried to push them to open the innings, but he has not been successful. But I think Richmond Mutumbami is a very, very aggressive cricketer, and it will be good to see how Richmond Mutumbami goes against Pakistan. He's a wicketkeeper batsman, but he's a very aggressive type of batsman. Wusi Subanda, who has always been struggling, I thought, in the one-dayers, in the sense he has not been really delivering the goods that what is expected. Because Wusi Subanda used to open with Sikandar Raza, sometimes he used to open with Hamilton Masakadza. But Wusi Subanda, I think, is a very good stroke maker, likes to really go for the strokes, but unfortunately his form has been really, really very poor. But now I am told that he has got into some sort of form here, and that's the precise reason he finds his place in the team, and that is pretty good to know. So Wusi Subanda, an aggressive stroke maker, is back in the mix. And Brian Vittori, who made a lot of waves when he actually came to Zimbabwean cricket, made an entry into Zimbabwean cricket with his left arm seam bowling, and he, because of injury, he couldn't be playing the World Cup, but I'm very happy for him that Brian Vittori is also there in the mix. It would add a lot of variety as far as the Zimbabwean bowling is concerned. Brian Vittori, let me tell you, he's a good bowler, and he can also, and he's another one who would definitely pick up wickets to really, really put the opposition in trouble. And Graham Creamer, now Graham Creamer, one would know that Graham Creamer was he is a right arm leg spinner, and he's a very, very useful bat lower down the order, and because of the selection policies in Zimbabwe, unfortunately we saw that Graham Creamer didn't play in the World Cup. There was a reason too. It was Graham Creamer who had actually shifted allegiance. In fact, he had shifted from cricket to golf because he was not getting any support. Let's see, there's a wicket fallen here in the match between Delhi Daredevils and Chennai Super Kings. The Delhi Daredevils have lost their first wicket here, as Ishwar Pandey as the one who has struck it. It is a ball which was shot on the middle stump, and Quinton de Kock has flicked it, but he flicked it in the air, and it is a very good catch taken by Ashwin at the long leg region, and Quinton de Kock is walking back to the pavilion, caught Ashwin, bowled Pandey for 3, and Delhi Daredevils have lost their first wicket. They're 16 for 1 in the third over. Shreyas Iyer is not out on 13 of 8 balls on a strokeful 13 with 3 boundaries in that knock of 13 for Shreyas Iyer. We'll come back to that later as we are back into the Zimbabwean team here. So as I said, Graham Creamer, who shifted from cricket to golf, he went to golf, and now is once again back into cricket. So that will be interesting to see what are the changes that has brought about. Whether that golf, after playing golf, probably I reckon that probably Graham Creamer would have some power to play some very forceful strokes against Pakistan. That remains to be seen. Other than that, Elton Chigumbura is the captain who will be leading the team. We all know he's a very good all-rounder. Sikandar Raza is another very talented player from Zimbabwe. Chamu Chibaba. Then we have Craig Irvine, then Hamilton Masakadza, Christopher Pofa, I have already spoken of. Tawanda Mupariwa is there. They have Tinasha Panyangra, who bowled excellently in the World Cup. Tendai Chatara is another one who's going to be sorely missed, because I thought Tinasha Panyangra and Tendai Chatara were a formidable combination as far as pace bowling resources were concerned for Zimbabwe. So now they have Brian Vittori to give some variety to the mix there. And then they have Prosper Utsaya, who has been actually was banned from actually bowling his off spin. So he's probably going to bowl some military medium pace. And then they have Sean Williams, another reliable player. Sean Williams and Craig Irvine, pretty reliable players in the Zimbabwe squad. And so that is the composition as far as Zimbabwean team is concerned. And I know the Pakistan spectators, the Pakistan cricket fans are all looking forward to this particular tour of Zimbabwe, and what a series that is going to be. So that is as far as that is concerned. In the meanwhile, I'll take you back to the IPL, where it is Ishwar Pandey in charge of bowling operations. He has just bowled the final delivery of the third over, and there is no run. Dumini is the captain who has come into the crease, and Dumini has been kept quiet for 3 deliveries. He's yet to score. He's not out on duck. Shreyas Iyer is not out on 13. Delhi Daredevils, in reply to Chennai Super Kings, 119 for 6 of the 20 overs, are currently placed at 16 for 1 after 3 overs, and well, 17 overs remain, 104. As I said, it's not an easy pitch to bat on. It will be pretty interesting to see. So far, I found Delhi Daredevils are at least above water right now. But it all remains, there's a lot of 17 overs still to go, And as you know, Chennai Super Kings definitely possesses a lot of excellent bowling resources. So it will be interesting to see how Delhi Daredevils shape up and whether they can actually win this match against the Chennai Super Kings. Well, this little cricket update, I'm concluding this Cricket Happening show for today. See you all in my next Cricket Happening show, which will be tomorrow, where I'll be talking about the outcome of this match. We'll be probably doing a summary of this match between Delhi Daredevils and Chennai Super Kings, and I will do a small summary of the outcome of the match and touch on some important features of this particular match. Well, until that happens, this is your host Ram saying goodbye. Thank you.